Ahead of the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, also known as the COP26, young environmental activists in Rwanda are calling for strong measures to mitigate climate change and ensure sustainable recovery during the post-COVID-19 era. According to these activists, the future of Mother Earth is in danger if leaders do not take action now to invest in green growth and climate-resilient future.
The expectation at COP26 is to see more action, because I think now is more than enough that we have been going a long way with a lot of policy, a lot of discussion, but not having action, especially when we're talking about climate finance, accessibility of adaptation funds in the community, all loss and damage with a kind of a climate injustice for our generation. So we hope at COP26 we're going to see more engagement and more action transferable in our grassroots community, so that we can all have a future, because otherwise we are not having a future.
Young people, as we know, are actually the one that we own this future, and because we are really worried about the future, and we need both governments and others to take really action. Designing policies that actually protect capacity building for businesses and SMEs, redesigning green financial instruments, so young people can actually tap into youth-designed green financial instruments. Here, talking about grants, loans, venture capital, so that maybe they can actually revive their businesses, hire more young people, as well as scale their businesses. Another thing I would also touch on is environmental conscious society. So we know education can actually contribute to tackling climate change, but yet most of our education programs, national curriculums, they don't really cover climate change well. So we want that they touch base on education policies.
For me, what I expect from it is to change what interactions that change the community.
Despite being among the least contributors of greenhouse gas emissions, Rwanda is already experiencing the effects of climate change. It's against this background that Rwanda has invested billions of dollars in developing a green economy over the years, as explained by the CEO of Rwanda Green Fund, Teddy Mugabo.
A study on the economics of climate change was conducted, and it actually indicated that climate change impacts could actually cost 1% of our GDP on an annual basis. And this was also further costed that we could lose up to, basically, this is costed to $330 million USD annually. So this is something that is quite significant, and that's why it's, first of all, it's important to mainstream as we develop how do we make sure that we're taking climate change into consideration, but how do we also ensure that we are attracting the financing. So far, since the establishment of the fund in 2012, we've been able to mobilize over $200 million. And with this funding, we've supported over 45 projects, and this is really across board. We intervene in projects that are in the conservation of natural resources. We've supported projects around electric mobility. So really the focus is on building resilience of the local communities, but also there's also an aspect of technology and innovation. How do we ensure that we come up with technology and innovation to basically ensure that we are adopting green technologies? Yeah.
COP26 is scheduled to be held in the city of Glasgow, Scotland, between 31st of October and 12th November 2021 under the presidency of the United Kingdom. While speaking at the gathering of young environment activists and green investors who are set to attend COP26 in Glasgow, the British High Commissioner to Rwanda believes that the UN Environment meeting will set moment for concrete action and collaboration between Rwanda and the UK to mitigate climate change.
You know, the issue of climate matters most to young people because it's their futures that we're talking about. So we really have to learn from them. And one of the things I heard from the young people today was that they don't want to just be invited to things to speak and then we don't follow up. They really want to contribute to these issues and contribute to the solutions. So there's a large number of young Rwandans who are going to COP. And then after the summit, I've pledged that we will also have further discussions about how we take forward those decisions in a way that benefits young people in this country. And then I think we can also work together as we move towards the CHOGM Commonwealth Summit next year, which will also focus on climate to a degree. We need to work together to ensure that we're keeping within our temperature targets, that we're reducing emissions, and that we're sort of adapting our way of living to a more sustainable way. And I think, after COVID, we can all think about how do we grow back, but how do we grow back greener? And that's something we're working together with Rwanda on.